Why do some artists quit and some artists stay the course?
Just think it's a matter of tough skin. Some people, they have tough skin, some don't. And it goes back to those expectations again, right? So if you get into a situation and you think that it's just gonna be a straight line, there's not gonna be any bumps, you're not gonna catch no bruises, there's not gonna be any obstacles or hurdles you gotta jump over. I think that in those moments of the obstacles and the hurdles is what defines you. So you hear people talk about the journey all the time, right? And I think that's the journey. So can people make it out of the journey? Some people, they don't finish the race. And I think it's just because they have those unrealistic ideas about what it is. Like case in point, this young gentleman, I went to see his movie a couple of months ago. And, you know, he told me, he's like, I'm about to get $500,000 for this movie. And I just looked at him and I told him, I'm not to crush him or anything, but I just told him, I said, look, man, I said, I know where you at right now. I've been there. And you're not gonna get $500,000 for this movie. He was talking about selling the movie for $500,000. Now, any person that is a seasoned producer knows why I would have said that to him. I mean, it's several different reasons, you know, and talent in the film, quality, a lot of different reasons why. But I'm just using that situation as an example. Now, if his goal is I'm getting $500,000, I'm gonna sell this for $500,000, and he can't even sell it for $5,000. If he doesn't have the tough skin that I talked about, it might make him quit. And that happens a lot with creatives in general. I think actors, producers, directors, even anything, anybody in life, athletes, you know, you name it. People that start podcasts, all that, right? So if you don't have what it takes to get through the journey, and you don't really know how to push yourself when you run into them rough patches, that'll make somebody quit, because this is not an easy business. This is a very challenging business.
So it seems like it's kind of like you're made when your back's against the wall.
100%. I love it.
I just came up with that. Yeah, I'm sure it's somebody else's, but okay. So it's not when everything's going great and, hey, Ramon, oh, let me be in your movie, oh, and red carpet and all this stuff. It's when plan A, B, C, D have all fallen apart, and now you're coming up with E.
Yeah, well, that, and also just you being put into a situation where you have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. Just figure it out. There's nobody there to help you figure this out. How are you gonna figure this out? You said you wanted to do this. How are you gonna do this? How are you gonna figure it out? And a lot of people fold, but you're 100% correct. I think that greatness comes from struggle. When have you ever seen somebody great just get that greatness handed to them? You don't hand over greatness. When you say somebody's great, it comes from them going through the motions and figuring it out.
Right. I mean, I guess I could think of you know, royalty or people that come from powerful families, but even with that, there's going to be so much that's going to come to them, from scandals to people wanting to take them down behind the scenes, that I would imagine there's greatness that we don't see, maybe, that's formed, you know? That doesn't sound like an easy position either.
Yeah, but even when you look at situations like that, right? So if you grew up in a royal family and somebody crowned you the queen, that doesn't mean you're going to be a great queen.
No, it doesn't.
You know, inheritance does not make you great. It just makes you an individual who grew up, who just was lucky enough to grow up in a bloodline of greatness, right? So it's like, you know, when you look at certain presidents and you look at certain people, different CEOs and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
You know, just because a CEO went to Harvard, that doesn't mean he's going to know how to run Sony Pictures. Does he know, is this the kind of person, he or she the kind of person that knows how to deal with individuals? They know how to deal with people. Do they know how to get into a company and see how everything works, all the pieces? You know, or are you gonna be somebody who's just gonna sit back and think everybody else should be doing the work and you shouldn't be putting any work in or putting any grunt work in to really add to that situation? And if you're not that kind of individual, you're not gonna achieve greatness, regardless to what, in my opinion. Greatness is earned. It's not given.
How do artists sabotage themselves?
Well, I think one of the ways an artist could sabotage themselves is by not playing fair. And when I say that, I mean just by being the type of person who you want everything to cater to what your needs are. And you're not trying to be a team player. I think that could be spoken of, you know, it could be writers, producers, actors. I think that if you aren't the type of person who knows how to be respectful when you're asking for something in exchange for your artistry, right? And I think that if you're not the kind of person who's being understanding when you come to do a job on set, let's say you're an actor or you're a camera person or you're a cinematographer, you're a gaffer, whatever. I think that that a lot of people you're gonna make a difficult situation for people to want to work with you and to continue to bring you back and want to work with you if you're not giving off that positive energy. And how could you give off positive energy when you're coming on set and you're creating problems? It's just not good business. I think that a good artist is someone that understands that everything isn't about me, it's about the team. And how can we all work together to get this project done? Whether it's a music project, it's a film, I think that good artists are people who they understand that right there. And they're respectful of everybody.
Is rejection always a bad thing for an artist? You know, we talked about character building earlier, having our back against the wall.
No, I think rejection, it can be great because I think that most good artists They've been rejected many times. And that rejection is what fuels a person who is actually passionate about something. That rejection is what's going to fuel you. It's going to be one of the components to the fuel for you to accomplish whatever it is you set out to do. So me, I embrace rejection. And I think that some people, when you don't look at rejection in the right type of light, or you don't look at it in a positive way, some people are like, okay, how can you look at rejection in a positive way? It's simply because if you're looking at it in a positive way, you're gonna tell yourself, nobody owes me nothing, right? So when you have this attitude as to where you think that someone owes you something, or something is gonna be easy, is just 1, 2, 3, then you're probably not gonna work as hard for it. And you're not going to get the real experience out of it, an experience that will actually build you up to be a stronger person. Rejection is very healthy, and in most cases, I think that early on in a person's career or whatever it is you're setting out to do, I think that it's necessary. I don't think anybody should just be given something. I think that all of us should be rejected several times.
How can we check ourselves? Because a lot of times we see ourselves as the hero. How can we say, you know what? I think I'm expecting the world owes me a living. I need to change who I am. How can we check ourselves?
By staying grounded, and also by having an attitude of just nobody owes me nothing. That's the best way I think that's probably one of the only ways to do it. And also, having people around you who are going to be honest with you about things, instead of just having a bunch of yes people around. Because I think that it's good for you to bounce ideas and bounce ideas off with different individuals, and also being able to have some type of peer group, whether it's one person or whatever, that you can share things with, and they can add some perspective to it.